Hello everybody, and welcome to my first questions and answers episode. I was going to start this series as early as a year ago, but I never got around to it. But anyway, here we are. A lot of other YouTubers do this, and it's fun. And this is totally ad-lib and unrehearsed, so let's just hop right into some of the questions. About 5 days ago, during my Culveyhouse channel update episode, I asked people to reply in comments with their questions, and I'm counting them now, and I'm counting almost 50 of them, so it's obvious we're not going to get through all 50, but I'm going to just flick my mouse around and let the mouse land at random on questions, and wherever we land, that's what I'll answer. Okay? So why don't we get started? Oh, and actually, before we get started, if you do like this question and answer series, you can go ahead and click the like button, because I'm going to look to see how popular this is. And if it is popular, then I'm going to upload these more often, probably every few months. And if it's very popular, I might do this once a month. Who knows? So, let us begin. And I said let us for a reason. The first question is by the YouTuber called Unrelenting BLT. Okay, bacon, lettuce, and tomato, here's your question. Do you ever think you will branch out and upload any multiplayer games instead of just single-player walkthroughs? Well, that is a really good question, and I'll mention why I don't really upload multiplayer much. Well, I started as a single-player walkthrough channel. I started with Fallout New Vegas, and I just kept up the pace with those role-playing type of games, which are all single-player. So I have uploaded a few multiplayer videos, but they've all been random footage. So I will say that the reason I don't is because I don't have those lightning-fast reflexes that I used to have. So it's not all that much fun to watch me as opposed to someone else who can just kick ass and flatten the whole army in 10 seconds flat. But the question is, will I be doing this in the future? Well, I might upload some multiplayer footage, but it's never going to be a full walkthrough or a full series. It's just going to be random, raw, idiotic footage. Okay, here's a good one from Best Game Player 10. His question is, what makes you not want to play Minecraft? And the answer is quite simple. I want to focus my channel on blazing graphics on the bleeding edge of technology. So I want to upload games and extreme graphics, at least 1440p from this point forward. And Minecraft doesn't even come close to that. Minecraft is like sort of like a role-playing game with retro graphics. It's almost like retro 80s graphics, but in a full 3D environment. But that just doesn't really interest me. And there's so many other new games that come out all the time, and I want to focus on those. And an example is like BioShock Infinite. You know, I started that right when it came out, and I started the DLC pack, the Burial at Sea, right when that came out, and I can't sustain that with too many older games. You know, I already do Skyrim and Fallout 3 as it is, and those are vintage enough for the channel, I think. Alright, now, here's a good question, and I was hoping someone would ask this. Two people asked it, actually. It was Mitcher Williams 101 and also Rockstar9212MC. Here's the question. Dear Mr. Colby, what first gave you the idea to start a high-quality gaming YouTube channel? Well, the channel really started back in October 2010, 3 days before Fallout New Vegas was released. I had this crazy idea that I would try my luck on YouTube because I had watched some random videos of game footage before. I never actually watched a full walkthrough, but I thought it looked fun to produce. And I had already built a gaming rig, and I was already playing games. In fact, I was playing StarCraft 2 at that point, and I was thinking, you know, if only I uploaded this stuff, I could save it forever and share it with my friends. Well, I decided that since I already had a lot of experience with search engine optimization, maybe I could apply that on YouTube and grow a channel and attract an audience, partly from the video and then partly from search engine optimization. So I came up with a plan to upload Fallout New Vegas the very first hour that it was released. So I reserved my copy at GameStop. I was there 5 hours before the line even grew around the corner. I was one of the first people in and one of the first people out. I rushed home in a taxi and I broke it open and started recording. And I also chose to be as unique as I could. So I wanted to upload in 1200p, which is, it sounds a little strange, but I had a 1080 a 1920 by 1200 monitor. So I happened to wind up with this extra setting above 1080p, and that seemed to be really popular right off the bat. Like, people thought I was uploading this super high definition or something, and it was really just 1200p. So that's really how it started. And right after the first episode, my audience started climbing quickly. Like, I had 20 subscribers in less than 2 hours, and then I realized, well, that's more than I ever had in the first 3 years that my channel even existed. So then it just kept growing from there, and I decided that it was going to be a full walkthrough from the beginning. I didn't realize it was going to take 110 videos. I thought it was only going to be like a 30 video series, and then I'd stop. And there it is. 110 videos later, I finished my first walkthrough, which was Fallout New Vegas. And there's one other thing I wanted to mention about the channel, which relates to the question. And I'm sure you've heard this a lot by other YouTubers, but this channel really was an accident. I had no idea that I was going to grow to 30,000 subscribers in 3 years. That's not a lot compared to the big celebrities, but even the big celebrities also say that it was just a pure accident. It was just sheer coincidence that their YouTube channel took off, and sometimes they don't even know exactly how it took off. And it's not so much an accident now, because I'm actively growing my channel, but in that first 2 years of its infancy, it was amazing me every day just how quickly I was growing an audience, and that really gave me the inspiration to keep going. And the same thing happens today more than ever. Every time I upload videos, if I even see that a few people liked it, that's enough inspiration for me to keep going. Alright, so here's a good one from Curialexical Dino. The question is, which is better, Fallout or Elder Scrolls? Well, I personally would have to say that I like the Fallout franchise better than the Elder Scrolls franchise. I didn't really expect to fall in love with Fallout like I did, and yes, it was Bethesda that really introduced me to Fallout. I hadn't played any of the others until Fallout 3, and then I went back and played Fallout 2, which I really enjoyed. I don't feel like playing it again. And then I also played Fallout Tactics, which was a little screwy, but I got through that as well. And then, of course, I played Fallout New Vegas and all those DLC packs and all the games. And I have to say that compared to Daggerfall, which I played, Morrowind, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion with the DLC pack, and Elder Scrolls 5 with all of those DLC packs, still have to say I prefer Fallout over Elder Scrolls. And Elder Scrolls Online, I can guarantee you it isn't going to tip the favor toward fantasy as opposed to post-apocalyptia. And I landed on another question by Mitcher Williams 101, and it's also a good one. What are your PC specs? Well, I happen to have the invoice right here from 4 years ago. And keep in mind, this is a rig from 2009. I kind of bought it for myself as a Christmas present, and it took 30 days to configure. The manufacturer was digitalstorm.com, which is in San Jose, California. Okay, so the chassis was a Cooler Master CM Storm Scout. The processor is an i7-860. The speed is 2.80 gigahertz. It's a quad core. I've mentioned that before. Motherboard is an EVGA P55LE edition. One thing about the motherboard, it only has SATA 2 bus, not SATA 3. So the solid state drive that I put in it afterward could only run at the speed of a SATA 2. But anyway, I have 4 gigs of DDR3 RAM. The speed is 1600 megahertz. I never upgraded to 8 gig, and I didn't really need to. It runs adequately on 4 gigs. The power supply was big, 750 watts, because I also have liquid cooling. The liquid cooling is, where is it? Yeah, H2O Stage 1 Acetec liquid CPU cooler with a 120 millimeter radiator in the back. I started with a NVIDIA GeForce GTX 285 2 gig graphics card, and then I upgraded that several times all the way up to 680. I now have a GTX 680 superclocked with 2 gigs of RAM. And that's about it. That's all there is interesting to talk about. And there's 7 fans, 4 of which stopped working over the years. And I am going to replace this entire rig in 2014, probably in the summer. And if NVIDIA gets its act together with their new 800 series, then I'll probably upgrade the rig with one of those new ones. Here's a good one from Joe Mansell. Question is, could you predict the release date for Fallout 4? Well, the best I can do is just throw out a stupid wild-ass guess for the release date of Fallout 4, because I'm no expert on the matter, but I base my prediction on Bethesda's business model and also game releases in the gaming industry in general, and historically what has happened. So with that, I would pin a release of fall 2015. It's by far the most likely release date, or the release season for Fallout 4. Most likely not 2016, that's just too far out. And Bethesda would have had to really screw up to release it that late. And 2014 doesn't sound realistic either. However, the VGX Awards are happening tomorrow. And we might find out something from Bethesda, or we might at least get some kind of hint as to what they're working on, and we all know what they're working on. It's just that they haven't thrown any kind of teaser out yet. Okay, we have to pick another one, and clunk. There, we landed on DCMI Hate Pie. Okay. His question is, I've been watching since the Dead Space days, and I've noticed you've gradually become more confident. Has doing the YouTube channel for the last few years translated into your real life in any way? Do you find yourself more confident in your job, etc.? Well, that's a really good question. I really didn't think about that until recently, but most certainly it has. And that's why I highly recommend working on a YouTube channel for anyone who wants to get into it. So my public speaking is more natural now. And my speech in general is more natural. And yes, like YouTube skills have translated into my real life in the form of planning and execution. I'm much better at planning things because planning YouTube specials, like those special presentations I do, that takes a lot of work. And I become better at that. And I use the same kind of planning techniques in pretty much every part of my life, especially in this new workout plan and total body transformation that I'm trying now. That took a bit of planning, and I also have to monitor my progress too. So there's all these metrics that go into it, and I learned a great deal about analyzing metrics by the YouTube channel, which I've done for the last few years. And I landed on someone for the second time, but I tried again and I landed on Gordon Freeman. Okay, his question is, are you planning on playing some horror games? Well, of course I am. The most likely one that will happen first is The Evil Within. Can't get enough of those Bethesda games. And in case you're wondering, the Japanese name for the game is called Saiko Bureku. And I have a feeling it's going to attract a big Japanese audience on YouTube, so that should be fun. I've never really... The last time I had a Japanese audience is when I wore my Stormtrooper costume around on Halloween. I'd get all these Japanese tourists just taking pictures of me constantly. I have a feeling something like that's going to happen with The Evil Within. And clonk. This one is by Mr. Dmitry Petrenko. A while ago you claimed you were gay. Is this the case? Yeah, that's the case. Okay, next question. Okay. There. Justin Castleberry asks, are you planning on getting the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, or both? Well, I'm definitely getting the PlayStation 4. I just don't have any interest in the Xbox One. Even though Rise, which uses CryEngine 3, really does look good, I'm sure a lot of my favorite exclusives will be on PlayStation 4, so I'm going to order that pretty soon, actually. Okay, we can do a few more of these, and then we're going to have to end now. Let's land here. By Bazzy91. Which do you prefer, waffles or pancakes? I told you it was going to be random. Okay, I love waffles. In fact, I have a Belgian waffle press right here at home, and I try not to use it too much because it is not the healthiest breakfast, right? Okay, let's try another one. There. This one's by Russell Jones. Question, what feature in Fallout 4 would you want the most? Oh, that's a really... Shoot, I should have thought about that. Well, I didn't predict I was going to land on it. That's a really good one. Okay, the feature I'd like the most is a wide expanse and a vast landmass that covers like an entire region, or preferably the entire country. That sounds a little far-fetched and ridiculous, but not so much. There's plenty of game producers that are building open-world games covering an entire country, like Ubisoft with its racing game. I can't remember. It's the one that's been delayed. I forgot the name already. Yeah, their game covers the entire continental U.S. It's feasible, and it's possible. And we have to stop thinking about Fallout 4 just taking place in one city. That's kind of ridiculous. We're past the city level now. We're into regional open world RPGs. So we have to stop falling for this, it's going to be in San Francisco. Oh no, it's going to be in Boston. Oh no, it's going to be in Cleveland. Alright, okay. And let's pick another one out of the hat. Fallout 4 No Bull. Will the game have any type of multiplayer? And I actually already answered that in a reply. I can't answer that because the only folks who know are Bethesda. And anyone who does know is bound by an NDA, which is a non-disclosure agreement. So we're not going to find out until Bethesda finally tells us. And another one. Clunk. Oh shoot, I kind of already answered that in the very last question, so let's pick one more. Yeah, I'm starting to hit the same ones again. Yeah, I already answered that one too. Here's a good one. Will you do a walkthrough of Witcher 3 and Elder Scrolls Online? Well, for sure. I'm going to be doing a full walkthrough of Witcher 3. And even to prepare for Witcher 3, I'm going to start uploading some random Witcher 2 videos. It's not going to be a whole walkthrough. It'll just be, my favorite moments of Witcher 2 as I play it, because I am going to play through the whole game again. And Elder Scrolls Online, I will do some random videos of my progress as a character. I will be building a character in Elder Scrolls Online, but I'm just going to give you, kind of like snapshots every once in a while of how I'm progressing through the game. Alright, one more question, and then unfortunately we have to call it a night. Are you an introvert or an extrovert? Well, pretty much any gamer is usually an introvert, so that's not too hard to figure out. But I'm also a software engineer by trade. That was another question, by the way, so I kind of just answered that too. I'm a software engineer, and most software engineers are introverted in nature, because we have to focus and concentrate on in our jobs and in our lives, and we work best alone. That's the kind of introvert that I am. Well, that wraps up the first questions and answers forum. I hope you liked this fireside chat style of video. In fact, it is a fireside chat because I've got a fire raging in the fireplace right now. It's like 20 degrees outside. Okay, so by the way, if you want to follow me on Twitter, the link to my Twitter account is right in the description. So just go ahead and click that and then click follow, and then you'll get an alert whenever I upload something. All right, so we'll see every YouTube buddy next time on the Culveyhouse channel. Thanks for watching.
Rien à faire ici. Ne bougez plus.
Retour.
Garde.
Quoi?
Garde.
Faites tuer.
Non, non, ne me tuez pas.
Bouge d'un poil et tu vas voir. Il y a quelque
Qu'est-ce que c'est que ce
La
mot?
partie se termine ici.
Ah, garde.
Oh, si le roi il va saigner.
Allez mon vieux, faut partir maintenant.
Au secours, garde.
Vous n'avez rien à faire ici. Quelqu'un?
Ne bougez pas.
Bouge d'un poil et tu vas voir. Ce coup-ci, je te laisse en vie.
Bonjour. Ça devait être le bon. Quoi? Qui? Dieu, mon Dieu.
Comment?
Revenez.
Ouais, ils ont déguerpi, je crois que c'est bon.
J'ai perdu la cible. Ce coup-ci, je te laisse en vie. J'ai perdu la cible.
Eh oh, j'aurais juré d'entendre quelque chose.